Yes, team, what is up? I'm excited for this one, mainly because of you, because you've clicked on this video, which shows me you're someone who is sick of the idea of feeling like you have to just copycat other people's content, or thinking that the only way for you to break through in the industry is by you being louder than you actually want to be, being more controversial, trying to be negative. We see people who are putting up content where they might be saying to people, your arms are the size of twigs because of this. And we know they're just thinking that they have to do it. I can see like deep down in their core, that's not really them. It's a mentor, it's a business coach saying, you have to be more controversial, you have to do it this way. We can have strong opinions without being negative, without being controversial. And don't get me wrong, if that is you, some people are great at controversy and all credit to them. But I know a lot of you watching it are, I know I have so much depth to what I do. I know my lived experiences, I have so much more to offer and to communicate. And I maybe don't know how to articulate that in the best way. So I end up kind of falling in this trap of either posting content where I just feel a bit flat about it because I don't know what to do and how to show up, or I kind of go down trends and think I need to do what other people are doing, but it doesn't feel right for me. So this video is going to be super exciting for you because it's going to show you how you can extract real life experience into your content and actually turn up as someone with huge authority and become an industry leader. That's what we want to be able to do because people think that comes from maybe just posting more or choosing niche, but it actually comes through your lived experience and the rubble of your life, like the experiences that you've been through. That's going to be the thing that creates the best content for you. But it's obviously needed to be done in a way where we can extract it and make it compelling to the audience. So I'm going to talk you through exactly how we do that. And yeah, sit in and enjoy. Okay, so firstly, what I want to talk through is how strong perspectives are formed. So with all of us, we will have potentially had an old belief, what you thought or assumed. So this could just be from your own way of doing things. It could be an inherited belief through what you've been taught, or just an industry norm. And with that, it's an old belief because some tension was created. There was frustration or kind of contradiction that you saw that I don't know if this is like the most optimal way, or I think there is a better way I could be doing things, or I could be coaching in a specific way. So even though this was like a belief of mine and I can see a lot of people are doing it, etc., it's created a bit of tension for me that I want to explore it. And then you have a realization that there is actually a different way to do things and there's a better way to do things, which led to you creating essentially your new belief. So this is essentially what I want you thinking about because one, so many coaches won't ever get the point of creating new beliefs for themselves if they're very much like just following the crowd, that they don't have kind of like the confidence to actually do that. Or two, even if people have, they kind of stay quiet about it and they almost don't want to show that they used to think about things in a certain way and see them as a different way. But this is what's actually going to build the most trust with your audience when you can say, okay, I didn't have it all figured out. This is the way I used to think to do things, but now I've started doing it this way. So I want to even like show you an example for me with that. So I'll just kind of like talk you through a live example so you can see one in real time, essentially. So yeah, it's perfect. Um, okay, so for me, if this was something I was looking at, an old belief of mine was that bigger equals better when it comes to business. So that's an old belief of mine. As a kid, the bigger the business, the better things will get, and that's something I believed in. But then I started to have this tension and friction when I saw when things were getting bigger, stress was getting higher, fulfillment was getting lower, and for a lot of people who would come to me as well, like for potential business coaching, their profit was a lot lower as well. So I had a realization that we shouldn't be optimizing just for more revenue and for bigger. We should be optimizing for what I would say profit first and then freedom second. So those are the two things we should be optimizing for. Because if we build a business so big that we don't actually enjoy life, fulfillment goes down, we've kind of lost love for it, we have no freedom, there's making more revenue, but our profit hasn't actually changed or sometimes have gone backwards, then what is the point? This is what I was saying to myself. So optimizing for profit first and freedom second. And why I do profit first and freedom second is because if we optimize for freedom first, you'll probably never make as much money as you want to make to live your dream life. So for me, with clients coming in, let's say if someone is doing 5K a month and they want to be doing 20K a month. If I was like, okay, let's optimize for freedom in your life, that doesn't make sense because they'll probably never get to 20K or it'll take them a long time. So for me, it's like, okay, let's actually optimize for profit first. Let's really work on driving revenue. And as we're building, be strategic in terms of helping you create more freedom. So when we're at 20K a month, if that's like the goal for you, that we have freedom built in and you're living not only the life that you want in terms of business and what it's generating and what it can do for you, but you also have the freedom there to enjoy it. So the new belief of mine wasn't bigger equals better. It was helping clients build a freedom fitness empire, which essentially a freedom fitness empire has three main things that we're looking for. So it's profit, it's impact, and it's freedom. So they're the three things that we're looking for. So we want to make sure they're creating impact in the industry, profit, and freedom. They're the three things. Because if I didn't care for that, if I just cared for bigger equals better, then I'd be saying, let's throw X amount on ads and just like really pushing ad spend. I don't know if you've heard this, you probably have, but I hear some wild stories like hearing coaches on their business mentors doing 100K in revenue and 25K in profit. Like that is wild to me, absolutely wild. Like that is people driving through ego and saying bigger equals better. Let's get you to 100K a month. Imagine the time, effort going into getting to that 100K and only having 25K left for it. When I've worked with coaches where they're making 25K a month and they pretty much have no expenses. They're like, yeah, have really good basic clients. I'm busy, but I love coaching. I'm doing that. Don't really have any expenses. Don't have much pressure there, and I'm good. Like imagine the two. I'm not saying actually either of them are right. I think both of them have flaws. One on the profit and freedom side, another one could also have more freedom. So I'm like, hey, can we get coaches to 50K a month and have quite like a lean business, lean team, making a lot of impact, making a lot of profit, like 80% plus profit margins. And yeah, why don't we do it that way? We're not focused on ego, we're focused on optimizing for a great life. So that's just an idea for you. So this is obviously my example to my audience. So whatever audience you are, if you're a fitness coach, it's looking at maybe an old belief that you had. What was the tension, friction, the realization, and a new belief? So I even actually gave an example on one of our client workshops this month with one of my clients who put up a really good post around confidence. So the fact that for her, she used to bodybuild for confidence, and since she stopped bodybuilding, she is actually more optimizing for her health. She's actually more confident now in her body than ever. So it's an old belief of like, bodybuilding will give me confidence. Then creating this tension, friction that maybe I'm actually noticing that I'm over analytical and I actually feel worse in my body because I'm holding myself to such a high standard. The realization that take some pressure off and attention there, and then the new belief is like focus on X, Y, Z, and it will actually get you the most amount of confidence. So that's a really powerful journey she's been through. That if she's then speaking to, a potential client, or she's just doing on her content, she's now coming across in a really, really strong way because she has this insight, which adds only authority to her, not anything else. And again, this isn't again where we like other people would be like, oh yeah, be controversial about bodybuilding, say this. Like that's something I'm really against. I've competed in the past, and I'll never say a bad thing about bodybuilding. That doesn't lie with me, even though I want to bodybuild again. It's taught me a lot of amazing things. So it's like, okay, even though that's a lived experience I've been through, and I've been come out the other side and have a lot of positive things that I would have believed before. It's like I don't want to articulate it or like bashing on someone. How can I come across in the way that's right for me, true to my values, but actually still have such a strong message of like, I did it this way, we did this, then I experimented with this, and now we're here. Like super, super compelling, and kind of makes you stand out in your own right. So when we kind of look at this now in a bigger format of like, okay, how can this actually be extracted? So this is an example of a full extraction framework. So what we have here is initially the frustration of what you were feeling, the old way that you were doing things in the past, a flaw, so something that you saw that was like broken with that approach, the cost of it, so something that it like silently took, your new perspective, the benefit and the proof, and then how you kind of build that into your content. So again, I think what will be best is me giving you like a worked example of this. So let me just come out a small bit here. Here's that again. Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it? Okay, cool. So let me just show you an example here for myself so you can kind of understand. And again, this is how I can get something put powerful in my content, because essentially it's sharing my view on things. So if I was to think about like a subject here, it might be funnels versus ecosystem. So this is almost a way in terms of I coach clients. So an old belief of mine was like, let's say we'll get clients through funnels, and a new belief of mine is we'll get it through ecosystem. So I'm not going to say I have all the right answers and everything was always correct. It's like I was doing things in a way and I saw something wrong with it. So I explored and experimented, getting it better. Like that's super powerful. That is, because people see you as like a thinker and a industry leader, and you're kind of coming up with your own ideas. So something I said to clients on this as well is, the best way to actually get better content and get better stuff with this, just do epic shit. Like do epic shit in your life, in your own journey, with clients, like what you're doing. Because the more of that you have, the more experience you have, the more insight you have to share. And then it's just extracting that and putting it into really powerful content. So the frustration that I was feeling was, maybe I felt like we're getting like a lot of leads. So leads was high, intent was low. So even though we had a lot of leads, the like intent of those leads was quite low. So that was like a frustration I was feeling. So it's still working, but it was just a way. So it was like funnel, let's say straight into like a landing page, or straight into like a DM. So that was like an approach that we were taking. So what was the flaw that I was seeing in that? I was seeing that it was kind of like um, low trust leads, because they were kind of coming straight through from start to finish. They're like low trust leads, um, not ready to buy. So they would have been kind of like some of the flaws that I was seeing. Even though we're getting leads through, they didn't have a lot of trust. They weren't ready to buy. So what was that actually costing the business? One, a lot of time, and with more time and kind of wasted time, that ends up being kind of like unsatisfaction of work. And then if we're thinking about metrics, show up rate was really down. So show rate on calls was down and closing rate was down. So we essentially needed to do a lot of volume to do well. So I was like, okay, there must be a different way. There must be a better way to do things. So then my new perspective was like, instead of just getting people straight through landing page or straight through DM, could we create an ecosystem which had multiple touch points? So essentially, if we had like someone going, let's say, to an Instagram post, to an email, to YouTube video, and we had some like retargeting ads set up, and we're getting them into maybe DMs for conversation, and they were just moving around this, getting lots of points of contact, really understanding us, our philosophy, that way that we worked. All of a sudden now there's multiple touch points, and we're nurturing and building a lot of trust with these people. So what is the benefit that we felt from that? So everything really. We could build a much leaner business. We didn't need as much. So time in the business went down, because to make more money we didn't need as much time. Expenses went down. We didn't have to prioritize as much on ads. What went up was like show rate, closing rate, and then obviously income as a byproduct. And I think most importantly, the satisfaction of the business. So proof, have a tremendous amount of proof with clients that we've adopted this, who come on the page. So if you click below, click on Instagram, you'll see loads of results on the page of everyone who's adopted this ecosystem style. Even for myself, like I continue to optimize this myself. 3 years in business for FitPro CEO, and we're on for a PB month for the first time in 3 years. And that's by, not for the first time, sorry, a PB month in 3 years in total. So the best month in 3 years. And that has come from us constantly optimizing this ecosystem. So like a huge focus for us, in addition to that, was building the Empire Cadence, which is essentially a monthly team where we have one main topic for the month. We talk about it, we get people on a workshop for it, and then we essentially offer up our coaching and get people signed up on that specific one. So we've been doing that the last few months and selling out, and this month has been a PB month from us going to more ecosystem structure and multiple touch points as opposed to doing it. So now you can see I've done this process, I've lived it, I've had experience, I've experimented with it. Okay, we've just hit a PB month for the first time in 3 years, and clients are hitting loads of PB months as well. So now I can see this new perspective and new belief, and then I can share that with my audience in terms of like, this is the cool shit we're doing and our clients are doing, and this is kind of the results we're getting. How compelling is that compared to 3 tips to do this or 3 tips to do that? It creates a lot more. And then implementation comes into how we actually are going to talk about that through our content in the short term. But then for me, what I can actually do here is like build this into something bigger. So what I was mentioning to you about Cadence, this can actually become our monthly team. So I could do and will do a full monthly teams on like funnel versus ecosystem. So that becomes the Cadence for the month. Then we actually get people into a workshop on how they can do their own ecosystem. And then we can get people into an offer on that topic as well. Say, if you want to learn how to build an ecosystem like we do and to generate clients consistently and sign them up, then we're taking on X amount of coaches to do that. And we can package it like this. So you can see how I've had a lived experience. I can talk about the old way, I can talk about the new way. I have proof of concept, and then I can put that into content, make that into a monthly team, which gets people onto workshop and get people into an offer. So I'm giving you my examples, but it's very much the exact same for you in terms of how you do it. So yeah, you can see this is something definitely super passionate about, just because I feel so many coaches are, not doing things in the way that they could be doing it. And it's, people are busy, they're checking in with clients, they're like, I don't know what to do with content, and they just kind of see what other people are doing, and they just talk about 3 tips or recipe ideas or everything like that. But what I want to say again is like, your best content is usually hidden in the rubble of your experience. So it's you trying to formulate through your experience and being able to articulate that to your audience is a really, really powerful way. So hopefully you've taken a lot from that. And yeah, probably just a reminder for you as well. Like I said, kind of halfway through this, just to do epic shit, to always kind of go into each month of like, okay, what epic story can I tell this month with my coaching, with my own journey? What can I be doing with clients? And not being afraid to, document and share lessons that you've had and what you've been through and things you taught before and how you now think differently. That is super powerful. We're here to create industry leaders and not just people to, go around copying other people, because where's the fulfillment in that? Hopefully this was helpful. Any questions, you can click down below and there'll be a link to my Instagram. And yeah, I'll talk to you then. And I hope everyone has a good rest of their day.